Today we're gonna draw a mermaid and paint her. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm not sure which way my camera's pointing tonight. If I'm vertical or horizontal, I'm not really sure. But however it is, we'll get something going here, and it's gonna be really nice. Really nice. I'm just going to pencil draw in our mermaid. Let me get her lines just right. Give her room for a tail. And her body. Should be really pretty when it's done. Very pretty. It looks more like a foot than a hand. Let me try that again. If at first you don't draw a hand, and the arm's too skinny, try again. Just gonna bring her back out here. Beautiful hair. So we're gonna have a little bit of wind blowing. You can't be by the sea without a little bit of wind. If I can keep this drawing and streaming up every night, I may be able to actually get a schedule. The first week was really hard because it's just about changing habits, and my habits didn't include painting in the evenings. At night. But now it's really the only time I have. So I just go with it. So some hair just going right through here. I always like when the wind blows my hair around. It just feels like the wind is trying to get my hair to hug me. Or a nice wind hug. And I love hugs. And I count the wind as a hug. I think that hugs are something that has been very underrated in the world today. Definitely. And I know we all really need hugs. There are some people who don't like to be touched, but I am definitely not one of them. A lot of watercolor is just being free and not worrying too much about where your lines are. The lines are very important, of course. So now I have to decide, where do I want her bouquet? Go a little bit of bouquet. And a few more scales. I think scales are one of the more calming things I can do for repetition and concentration. I get distracted so easily with pretty much anything. So when you hear the squirrel comes to mind, that would be me, squirrel. So I basically try to focus, and I think that drawing scales on a mermaid or a dragon is one really great way to concentrate. So that's what we're going to do. Just one scale at a time. And trying to get them all the same shape is another interesting challenge, but I would say that I don't think, even mermaids don't have exact perfect scales. So sometimes it's good to have a little less perfectness so it looks more real. And I think we can relate to things that aren't perfect better. Lord knows I'm not perfect. Although I tell people I am. Just kidding. I'm trying not to move my paper around, but I'm going to have to a little bit. Because I really want to get this mermaid just so. And then the scales are going to have to go around this corner here. So I'll kind of plan ahead for that. I was going to try to stream earlier at like 8:30 every night. It's just so hard when you have a full-time job. Actually, 2 jobs. I work 6 days a week. So that's fun. And then I gotta try to not be too tired to draw or create in the evening. And it's actually helping me feel less sad. It's helping me feel like, I don't know, like I'm accomplishing something, which makes me feel happier. And I think happiness is something we all seek in life. No one can be happy all of the time. Even mermaids. They'll sing songs, dream about their princes who are walking on land, which is amazing. Always loved the Little Mermaid cartoon videos for kids. Now here I'm getting bigger. I actually should be getting smaller. So I'm not sure what I did there. I'm going to erase that. This is called a kneaded eraser. You can just shape it however. And then you can have it fat, so like if you want to erase a big bunch of stuff you can, or if you want to just erase little details, you can form it into a little tiny detail eraser. I'm going to erase a few little things here and there, and then smush it down just enough so I can get these last few scales a little bit tinier. I used to draw a lot, or paint like landscapes, like trees and waterfalls. And then that's when I lived in Seattle area. Seattle is so beautiful. It can be very cloudy. It can be very dreary. But it's so beautiful. And when the sun shines, everything shines. You can see the mountains from almost any angle. You can see a view of the water from just about anywhere. And I'm a water person. I didn't do that one very well, but that's okay. It'll all look good in the end. It's important to not focus too much on the details. a tendency to do that. And I wind up overdoing the details and missing the whole picture. And I step back and look, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? I have so many details, but the picture looks, or the drawing looks like it got hit by a truck. So don't get lost in the details too much, and you can always go back in and fill in details. I used to not like to draw. I love color, so I always loved to use colored pencils and paints. And I really wasn't very good at drawing. So one year I decided I would focus on that and just draw. And now I have a lot more confidence in drawing, which is a very good base for painting. Years ago, I also used to just find a picture and project it and trace it. Or I'd even use a window for light and tracing paper. That worked really well. I haven't done it lately. And so when you trace your subject, you can focus more on the coloring of it rather than the drawing. And tonight, I'm just trying to draw. It's made a good base, I should say. It's given me more confidence. And I think it's good to have confidence in life. You need to have self-confidence. Mostly confidence in yourself and what you do. There's another thing called self-esteem, which is different. You can have so much self-confidence because you have confidence in what you can do, and then your self-esteem can be low. Oh, there's a shade right here I'm looking at. Say dark. Something up here. Got a weird shadow there. Just move this over a bit. Because I don't know what that shadow is. And we're getting our paints. Our paint's ready. Got my fishbowl watercolor here, or water for watercolor. The paint will be coming soon. Now I do have one painting I'm getting ready to do. It's going to be one that I'm really thought out and planned ahead for. It's going to be 4 feet? 4 feet by 4 feet. And it'll be different than anything I've ever done. I don't know. Maybe people don't like watching scales be painted because it does take some time, or drawn, I should say. And you really don't need to do all of the scales. You can just do some color and throw in some scales later, a few here and there to indicate it. But I have this obsession with drawing them. I have a dragon video I did somewhere on my channel. You can find it. It was a drawing, painting, or drawing with pencils. It was really fun, and I like dragons and fantasy. There we go. Look at these tiny little scales. I'm just going to be little circles right now. So we're going to want our tail. I've run out of paper for tails, but that's okay. Because she has a really long tail. This one's just going to go right around there. I don't know if I really need to talk during my videos, but I find it a bit therapeutical as well. I don't even know if anyone can hear me. But I can hear myself, so I guess that counts. I don't know if you'd like me to talk or if you just enjoy the music. I can talk about pretty much any subject. But mostly, I just like to relax and draw just for my own peace of mind, my own therapy. I think we're just about ready. I think I'm going to make her more hippie here. I think she has more of a belly. I have a tendency to make my mermaids anorexic sometimes. Now we can add our rock that she's sitting on. A little bit of shadowing. And rocks don't always go straight across. I'm going to make this rock kind of come down a little. There we go. And it's funny, I think sometimes you always have mermaids sitting on rocks. I can't think it would be too comfortable for them. I know when I sit on a rock, it's not that comfy. just going to put a little bit of shading, shadow right in here. In case you're wondering what this is, it is a flower from my imagination. So I'm a highly imaginative person. Imagination is really good for the world. We spend so much time with our heads full of music, TV, just noise from people who are noisy, school, work, and it's none of the noises we really want to hear. Sometimes, and when you get alone, you kind of freak out because there's no noise. And it's like, I'm all alone. So, noise is good, but sometimes it's good to just sit in a quiet place and just enjoy your own peacefulness. See what pops into your head. I'm trying to make it more of a habit to sit quietly, especially when I know I'm going to be driving. And driving kind of stresses me out a little. Okay, it stresses me out a lot. But I really enjoy going places. I used to love driving. It was an escape for me. I had a really large family. And I could not wait to drive for any excuse to get out of the house. All the chaos. I think back then driving was my escape. And now, driving is just kind of something I'd rather somebody else did. So I guess it's time for me to get a limo driver. Okay, let's get you more rocky looking. And some jagged, like the water's come over it, so it smoothed the rock down. But it still has some jaggedness in it. I think too, when you're younger, your mind is more clear. You don't have it all cluttered up with relationships, bills, divorce, marriage, crazy boyfriends and girlfriends. It's just easier because you don't have your head full of what life is giving you yet. At least you don't know it's giving you anything yet. I don't know if anyone else has ever done this, but I used to make tents in the living room out of sheets and books. To hold the sheets in place and chairs. I had the most fun constructing tents. And my younger brother and I would compete to see who could make the best tent. I always did. And he'd want mine, so I'd give it to him. And then I'd go make a better tent. He's like, "How do you do that?" I was better at architectural design. I think that was really supposed to be my mission in life. I think too, by streaming and trying to make it a habit, I definitely am able to focus more. It's like my meditation, I guess. the time where my head is most clear of all the crap that goes on in real life and everyday life, all the stress and tensions, and that just melts it right away. Now, there are times where I've done drawings or paintings and I've been so frustrated that I cannot get it to go right for the life of me. And I just kind of give up, and I'm like, this, whatever it is I'm drawing sucks, or when I'm painting, it just sucks, it's crap, why am I even trying? And then I'll get a good day where I can focus. Better. More rockish. This mermaid only has scales, as you can see. She's not one of those mermaids that has to be all dolled up. In clothes and fancy bikini tops and coconut shells. She's a simple mermaid on a simple rock, enjoying nature, being one with nature. I have friends who are artists, and they're amazing. And I'm comparing myself to their art all the time. I'm thinking they're so awesome. My art sucks compared to theirs. It took me a while to stop comparing and just don't look at it for a while. And just try to remember why you enjoyed painting in the first place, or drawing, or sketching, or digital art, or whatever it is you like to do, floral arrangement. And just focus on you. And what it is you love, and not worry about if you're better or worse than anyone else. Just be you. Let's give her a little ocean, a little sea. I'm not going to worry about a ruler making it perfectly straight. I'm just going to give it a nice little line. It's going to be our water. And then we're just going to throw another boulder right here. Now my question is, are rocks hard to draw? Is it hard to make look like rocks? They sure can be, or not, depending on if you like to draw rocks. And rocks can be any shape. Any size, any color. And I don't know, should we put our ship in tonight? Can't really see this line real well. Try to get our light over here. I think this will be good. We'll go ahead and put her, give her a little ship to watch. It's passing through the night. Okay, I think we kind of have enough water to say we've got some water. All right, I'm ready to put some color in here. Maybe a couple birds. Can add more later if we like. And I want to thank that one viewer who's been watching me this whole time. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Still confused about this shadow up here. I don't know what it is or where it's coming from. Okay. I have this little thing that twists and tightens the camera. So we're going to start out with some, I'm just going to do some yellow. And I'm using colored pencils because our moon is going to be yellow. I like it to have like a little bit of glow all the way around. And yellow reflections. Now with my watercolors, sometimes this is watercolor pencil, so I'm just giving it an idea of what the color I want. Sometimes I have a large tendency to overdo it with watercolors. So we got our brushes. I'm gonna use this big one. It's brand new. I haven't used it yet. And we're gonna give her a nice, pretty sky blue background. See, I'm thinking it should be lighter near the thought that would soak in better. I put a lot of, well, that line definitely needs to be a little bit straighter, I would say. Boom. At least from my angle. It's actually not as easy to paint in this angle for me, but it's definitely exciting. There we go. Well, that's what it's supposed to do. Just spread out. Put plenty of water down. Well, this brush was fun. I'll try another one. Might hold a little bit more water. I think this might do the trick. Just might. Oh, that's what I like to see. Much better. It's all in the brush. I'm using watercolor blue. I actually don't know the name of it, but I just know that I like it. So that's the one I'm going to use. I really have to know everything about watercolor. Goodness sakes, I have a bug crawling around. Try to focus with that. lights I have on this. It's kind of reflecting weird. Let me see how it looks. I'm going to go ahead and do some of the sea, a little bit of the ocean. And I don't know if I have a teal color. I do in here someplace maybe. Next we need to figure out what color we want her tail to be. I'm gonna get a little bit more of that. Ocean color I like. I did want it a little bit lighter than it turned out, but that's alright. Still pretty cool. I'm just going to get a little bit of dark for the shadow down here. Is this the one? I always like to think that when a mermaid gets up on a rock to sit, she still has a bit of water. Still wet from being in the ocean. I'm not really sure if they make freshwater mermaids. It's kind of a joke. I do know they make saltwater ones. the sun. I do know that yellow is an amazing color. And that's the one I want to see. Yellow. I think we'll do a little bit on the ship. Maybe just a dark purple. See if we can make a straight line tonight. Do some of her skin tone. I just want to fill that in. Just going to do some wet on wet painting, as it's called. I haven't used any color, but it's turning purple. It's very interesting. Alright, where's a nice skin-like tone I can use? I don't actually know if I have a skin tone. A little orange. Yellow. And I'm going to do a ton of white. Put that in there. Get all nice and peachy. And this is going to eventually be a little darker because it's on this side of the light. And you just got to have a little butt. A little bit of butt. And I'm attempting to mix a color again. I need a nice dark, pretty color. Let's see. I'm going to put it in here. And take some more of that skin tone. And I'm going to add some of that dark brown. Dark brown somewhere. Let's see, this one is not dark brown. Throw in, I guess, some gray. Shade it up. I think some more orange. I'm going to lighten that up a little more. I'm looking on my screen, but it looks like, hey, Jiba Thomas, thank you. Thank you for joining my stream. And nice, so you must be able to see it okay. I'm looking at it and I'm not sure. I just see like the wrinkles and stuff, but then I'll have to put a book on it to really get the effects of flat paper. That I want. There we go. going to throw in some beautiful green mermaid color for her mermaid tail. Venus, hi! Oh my goodness, what a nice surprise to see that you dropped in again. I've been missing you. You just wanted to stop in? Oh, that is so sweet. I'm so glad you did. What a wonderful person you are. Thank you so much. I'm using watercolor today. I'm a beautiful little mermaid. Something new. Venus is one of my special people. Dude, it's so pretty. Oh my goodness, thank you. I'm just going to be working on her tail for a little bit. Mermaid's got to have tail. And the reason I chose yellow is because it's a reflection of the moon. Also, I just like yellow. It's one of my favorite colors. So far this week I've done acrylic, oils, and now watercolor. Oh, and I've done pencils. Yep. Ojiba, are you a painter or an artist? Let's see. Is it this one? I'm still getting used to watercolor. I'm not going to say I'm perfect at it or an expert even, but I don't think it would hurt for me to have a class. I think there's always room for improvement. And Lena, I don't know if you're still, or Venus, I don't know if you're still here, but I haven't seen our other friend for quite some time. Just twice. And then she kind of disappeared. So I'm not really sure what that was about or why. Maybe she'll come back. really big scale right there. I know it's good to let your paint dry, your layers of watercolor, and then it doesn't like bunch up so much. But unfortunately, I'm one of those ADD impatient people. I can be patient, but when I'm streaming, it feels a little different because I want to get it done in one sitting instead of like a week. I'm switching to a smaller brush for better details. That brush was definitely too big. Oh, this one might be too small. It's a liner brush. I swear when I do tails, I go over this each scale probably 3 times. Once to get them there, once to put color on them. And then once to kind of like get them all cleaned up. I'm just going to do little spots of darker green. My goal here is to give her a little bit of glimmer. And make it look glimmery. Every time I stream, I always think, oh, I'm just going to be an hour, and I wind up getting so caught up in it. It's like almost 3 hours have gone by, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's like 11 o'clock at night. Okay, now I think for her tail, I'm just going to do like a light as a wash as I can. I'm going to attempt it anyway. And then we'll go back in and just add a little bit of color. I don't want too much. I'm going to have to kind of look at it first. There we go. Pretty little green color. I like it. And more than likely I'm going to go over the lines with some pen. This is the point where I start getting like a little frustrated. But I brought in two secret weapons. One is my black pen, black gel pen. And I have a white gel pen somewhere around here. Hopefully it still works. It's stuck in this jar. I have a paint pen. This works sometimes. And let's see. This is a gel. It's a jelly pen. Yep, they're both jellies. Let me try this out. Ooh, yeah, okay. So this one works. Might be able to do some like highlights with that one. The sail still needs a color. What color shall we do that? I'm just gonna say, okay, dark. Maybe a really dark purple. I think I need to go out on more boats to really get the full effect. Now, I like to add a little bit more color, so I'm going to choose some red. A nice bright red, just for fun. Little sail here, little sail there. And since I have the red out, how about we do some of these flowers? Trying to find a nice bright orange. A little bit more darker green. Sometimes my son will pop in and say hi. He found this new game, video game. It's really cool. I think it's like Wu-Tang or something. I actually really like watching it. Super interesting. I like fantasy, so that's part of it. Let's get some rock color going here. Finding I really don't have a dark brown. I'll just use some gray. My lights might go out. We've got a storm out there. Trying to push its way into the house and taking out my lights. It's been raining every day here in Florida, Southwest Florida. And we have little puddles everywhere, all over the roads. I get flooded really easy around here. It's hard to get out of the driveway. I think I have a nice dark color, some kind of black. Ooh, look at that. It's nice and dark. And that's the first time my paint has spread out the way I wanted it to. Must be the brush. We're about ready to call this one a day. I'll just give her a little bit more color in the back. A little more shading. Maybe a little more color in her hair. Let's think about that. What color do I want her hair to be right now? I like the yellow, but I think mermaids have this beautiful kind of an orangey red kind of looking hair. It just flows. I'm going to make the yellow a little bit brighter. Oh, what time is it? 11? Okay, yep. 11's a good time to start focusing on ending the stream. think I would like to make the moon a soft grayish color. Get my little palette, my little baby palette here. I got it mixed. Now I forgot what I was going to do with it. Gray color. What was I going to make gray? Totally forgot. Okay. Oh, it was the moon. I remember. I've got like the shortest memory, I swear. And this is like a moon sun. It's like part moon, part sun. Which may or may not make any sense. But I always say it is what it is. Oh, where was this green earlier? Love it. Love, love, love it. I'm just going to take my black gel pen. Oh, this is brand new. It still has that cappy thing on it. Wait, is it red? No. It's very odd. Might be a little bit wet still. I'm not going to go over all of these, just a few. I want it to have a nice more like, you know, the gist of the tail rather than each tiny detail having to be there. I might try to make a short out of this actually. Am I frozen? I'm frozen. Better plug this guy in so I can do the finishing touches. I'll just zoom in for now. I'm staying up way past my bedtime for this. But it's worth it. There. Are we unfroze now? You see my little fingers. Hello. Oh, there they are. Okay. So this is the third time I'm going over the scales. I got lost in translation when I was painting. A lot of it's patience. You gotta let your watercolors dry. But as I said, I'm a little impatient sometimes. Okay, a lot of the times. So true art requires true patience. That's where the focus comes in. And where you only focus on what you're doing, which to me is my type of meditation. If I sit down to meditate, it's just boring. My mind wanders all over the place. So then I think about Kung Fu Panda saying inner peace, inner peace. And my live stream started out really good. And I think they just kind of disappeared. I think it was the dragon that did it. The dragon was phenomenal. And I really do like the dragons. I've been drawing and painting mermaids for quite some time, but I think it's time to start moving on into some really good, more interesting type of challenging art for me. A little more on the surrealism side. I like surrealism mixed with fantasy. These streams are just to help me get out of my shell. I've been hiding so long. Afraid to get out there and stream. Like I said, with the help of my son and his encouragement for me to share my talent, and again, I would like to thank my one viewer that I think you've been here the whole time. Or maybe it's just YouTube trying to support me. I don't know. I know I talk fairly quietly, and I probably could get one of those fancy microphones. Makes you sound better, more clear. But maybe if I got like more than 10 viewers at a time on each of my streams, I could do that. Oh, that looks like a claw. There we go. And some curl there. Get some of this down here done a little better. And there's room for some more shading now that the watercolor is drying out. Just leaving plenty of room to add a whole nother layer. Of watercolor. To enhance what we've already done. Throw some more shading and depth. Like it was really dark down here, now I'm going to have to darken it a little bit more. But at this point, I just want to hoist the sails. Sail away to bed, because it is almost midnight. I think that's good for now. There's more that can be done, but we'll let this dry and maybe take over. I wonder if this white works very well. May have to use acrylic paints. So that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you for joining my stream, for everyone who joined. I really, really appreciate it. And I think that there's plenty of room for more shading on this one. But seems as though I just drew it up tonight. Usually it takes me like an hour or two to draw very well, and shade, and then just adding some color. But I think I'm satisfied with this. And I've been streaming for quite some time. I don't even know how long, but anyway, thank you for sharing, and I will see you again next time. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe if you would, and if you haven't, I really appreciate that too, and you have a wonderful, wonderful evening.